Hello, fifth grade. All right, so today's video is going to be pretty short because I don't know if you noticed, but I gave you tomorrow to work on your project. So we're only doing lesson 15 in chapter 8, which is on page 504, and it is a problem-solving strategy. So let's turn there and get started. All right, so today's problem-solving strategy is choosing an operation. Now, I'm pretty sure we've done this strategy before, but it was with regular numbers. And today we're going to talk about it in reference to fractions. Okay, so let's look at 504. It says, choose an operation. How can you decide what is the main idea of a problem, what the main idea of a problem is? Blood facts. Blood is constantly moving throughout the circulatory system. The data file at the right shows approximately how all that blood is usually distributed. To help solve the problem, draw a picture of the action in the problem. The picture shows the main idea and helps you choose the needed operation. Okay. So let's look at example A. So the data is next to the problem. So let's look at example A. What part of the total amount of blood in the body is usually in the veins and arteries? Okay, so first we're going to write down the total amount of blood, okay, which is 13 out of 20 for the veins, and then 1/10, which is the arteries. Okay, so (13 out of 20), sorry. And 1/10 plus 1/10 is in the arteries. So we need to find out what the total is in the blood and the arteries. Okay, so what is the first thing we need to do? We need to figure out what operation we need to use, which is addition, okay, because we're finding the total. All right, well, when I look at that, I know that I can't add it until I have common denominators, okay? So when I look at 13/20ths and 1/10ths, what would be the least common denominator? 20, okay? So you're going to have 13/20ths plus blank over 20. Okay, so what do I have to do to 10 to get 20? Multiply by 2. So same with the 1, because if it's going to be an equivalent fraction, you have to do the same thing to the top as you do to the bottom. Okay, so 1 times 2 is 2. And now I can add them together. So 13 plus 2 is 15 over 20. Okay, is that the smallest I can make that fraction? No. What is the greatest common factor of 15 and 20? You can tell just by looking at it. It's 5. So let's divide 15 by 5 and 20 by 5 to get the simplest form, which is 3/4. So 3/4 of all the body's blood is in the veins and the arteries. Okay. So let's look at example B. That's 3/4. Let's look at example B. People with type A blood make about 2/5 of the population. In a group of 25 students, how many would you expect to have type A blood? Well, in order for me to choose the operation, I'm going to think of what I just said, because remember, I told you that a certain word when using fractions means multiplication, okay? So people with type A blood make up about 2/5 of the population. In a group of 25 students, how many would you expect to have type A blood? Okay, I'm sure you heard it. Of means multiply when it's with fractions. So 2/5 of 25, I'm going to multiply 2/5 times 25. okay? Now, I can either multiply this first and then reduce, or I can reduce it right here, okay? So first I'm going to multiply it and then reduce. What is 2 times 25? 50. Good. 5 times 1? 5. And what is 50 divided by 5? 10. Okay, so 10 of the students would have type A blood. Okay, now we're going to do it reducing before we multiply it out. Okay, so I have 2/5 times 25. If you look across like an X from each other, you can actually, if they go into each other, you can reduce them before you even multiply. So 25 and 5. 5 goes into 5 one time. 5 goes into 25 5 times. So now I can go 2 times 5 is 10. 1 times 1 is 1. So 10 over 1 is the same as 10. All right. So you, for homework, are going to do, let me see, practice. There's no A and B, it's just practice. But practice 505 odd. Practice 505 odd. And it says, draw a picture to show the main idea, then choose an operation, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Choose an operation to solve the problem. Use the data file at the right to answer 2 through 4. So in your situation, it would be just number 3. And then you're also going to do 5, 7, and 9. All right? Okay, so since you have time to work on your project tomorrow or today, I'd like you to take this time right now to work on this. So if you have any questions, we can talk about it when we get on Zoom. All right, see you in a few minutes.